Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Stanley Pierre-Louis, the president and CEO of the Entertainment Software Association. Thank you for joining us. Stanley?
Thank you for having me.
Well, give us a bit of an overview, some background. First of all, we talk about this before we talk about the new survey about the Entertainment Software Association. Describe for our listeners what it's all about.
The Entertainment Software Association is the voice and advocate for the U.S. video game industry. Right now, the video game industry in the U.S. is a $43 billion industry, and one that really has job creation at its core. More than 220,000 people across the United States work in the video game sector in some way, shape, or form. We actually cover 84% of congressional districts. And video games today encompass so much. They're both technological, they're innovative in terms of intellectual property. And so you have coders and developers, but you also have musicians and composers who make up these really rich experiences. It's the lead entertainment product in the United States today. More people play video games than baseball, basketball, football, and soccer combined, which is, for our industry, 164 million people. So it's a growing field, and it's one that is exciting because it brings so many people together.
And there are many, many types of gaming. You can talk about, there are professional video game players today, and there are folks who are playing word games for 20 minutes at a clip or whatever.
There is a game for everyone, and that's what's really fueled the expansion of our industry. Right now, there are just as many people playing video games who are over 50 as there are under 18. The average age is 33, and 46% of gamers are women. So we really are a microcosm of our country and how it plays and works together.
And you've got a new campaign that you're calling Game Generation. Tell us about that. And it's, I guess, taking off from a survey that you've done.
We are so excited about this campaign, Game Generation, and truly everyone is part of the Game Generation, as I described before. One of the things we've realized about our industry is that we've got an opportunity to talk about all the positives, and we ought to empower people to do that. And so this, for us, is an opportunity to give voice to the many, many stories around the video game industry and the players that make us up. People play games because they're fun and they're challenging. You love to get to that next level on your game, and you love the rich experiences in the game. But what we are also finding is that video games fuel so much more in our society. First of all, it builds on community. The reason games have become so popular is, yes, because the technology has increased and the storylines are fascinating and the challenges there. But people love playing together. And in fact, 65% of people play together, either online or in person. And that means that there's community built around the play. The second thing we've seen is that video games fuel inclusivity. More and more people can play with each other in different ways. The most inspiring way is really working on tools that make those with physical limitations part of that community. The best example was a Super Bowl commercial from last year with the Microsoft product Xbox Adaptive Controller, and it allows people to play through different means, but at the same level as everyone else. But there are lots of other things about playing other characters and learning about others through games that really fuel some of that excitement. And the third thing we're seeing is this innovation inspiration. Games are part of everything we do now. So there are classroom modules built around video games because they allow teachers to reach students where they are. One great example of this is a game called iCivics, and it's one that teaches civics education to middle schoolers. And it was started by retired Justice Sandra Day O'Connor because she was looking for a way to reach middle schoolers before they got into the real world after high school and college, and understanding how you problem solve and how you understand what makes up a democracy. It's a free program that is now the largest provider of civics education in America.
So essentially, it sounds like there are lots of benefits that are available, and you're fighting some perceptions that crop up from time to time pertaining to violence in video games, or that video games are a waste of time for a lot of kids. But most parents see video game playing as a positive.
That's absolutely right. And in fact, we find that 73% of parents view the experience of their children playing video games as advantageous to their educational development. So more and more video games are seen as something that attracts them to want to learn subject matter more, and sometimes ones that they didn't know they might be interested in. Right now, girls who play video games are 3 times more likely to get a college degree in STEM. And that's because understanding the video game is getting under the hood. And when you get under the hood, you've got to understand STEM. And it's exciting that video games are fueling that kind of excitement from some underrepresented groups. And it makes us very different from a lot of other fields, including in the tech space, where you have more women and girls going into video game design and leading to new opportunities, sometimes in the game space, but also sometimes in other related fields like aerospace, where simulations are very popular. The other thing about video games that people are seeing is that it's a way to really escape stress. In an age where everyone is reevaluating their relationship with technology and devices, people are turning to video games for stress relief, again, because it's fun and enjoyable, but it's also a wonderful way to connect with people who share your interest or passion.
This is going to be an exciting year for the industry, isn't it, with the new consoles arriving?
It really is. You've got new consoles arriving. You also have more and more services trying to reach consumers in exciting ways. One of the growth areas for industry is cloud-based gaming, which some people also call streaming. And that's this opportunity to play, irrespective of the device, a game, and being able to connect with people no matter where you are and how you play. It might be on a device. It might be through some cloud-based service, and continuing the games as you are doing with a lot of other entertainment products today. So there are a lot of exciting opportunities in addition to the fabulous games that come out every year.
Exciting stuff. And there are some scientists or physicists who've hypothesized that the universe we live in has us living in a video game, that's what this is all about. I don't know if there's any reaction
there. Do we choose
there.
our own adventure? Well, what I would say is video games do allow us to understand others better. And so to the extent that this theory really looks at how we're living and how others are, one of the things we have found in talking to people is that video games actually build on empathy and understanding others and in building teamwork. And we're excited about how those connections in video games allow people to really see people for who they are and for how they can be. So it does build that empathy. The other thing I would say when you talk about parents is that our industry is the leader in providing information to consumers and especially parents about what's in the game so that purchasing decisions can be made with as much information as possible. So for example, we have a rating agency called the Entertainment Software Rating Board, and they provide the information about what's in the game, E for everyone and the like. And that way you can decide based on the age of your children or what you're looking for as a consumer, what kind of content you want. The other thing is we've developed a site called parentaltools.org that provides information on how to limit time and spending and content on video game devices, and there are step-by-step instructions on how exactly to operationalize those instructions. So we're excited about not only the content we provide, but also the information we provide so that purchasing decisions can be made with as much information as possible.
Great information. And for more on the organization, the umbrella website, I suppose, is the ESA.com?
That's correct, THEESA.com. To learn about the campaign, go to gamegeneration.org. And to learn about the parental controls, go to parentaltools.org.
Terrific. Stanley Pierre-Louis, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you.
Cooking with the power of the sun. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, here to tell you about the latest innovation from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. The GoSun Fusion has arrived using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. A really bright idea. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere, day or night, rain or shine. I love what Patrick and his team are doing, and so will you. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co to check out all of the company's products and innovations, and use the code Techstination to save 10%. That's gosun.co.